Just just starting it up. I see the app changed again a little bit every time when I'm doing that. So I'm also now connected to the chat, so I can see the chat. Hi Trisha, welcome Corinne. Hi Susan, also welcome. And you can see that I'm sitting here with some a waterfall at the back of me. So hi Ronnie, welcome Tish. So I see 20 people already. That's nice. It's a really last minute tour for me. So I thought I am somewhere else, the other part of the world, the other side of the world. So let's see how that goes, and let's see if I can take you to another beautiful garden at least. Hi, Catherine. Welcome, Valpuri. Also, you see my face. Hopefully you can all hear me too. By the way, so I don't know if you also can hear the. There's a lot of sound behind me now from the waterfall, and they're doing some constructions in the garden itself. So it is. I think in 3 minutes from now, it's 3 p.m. over here where I am. Uh, Hottest part of the day. It's about sound and vision are good. Okay, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. No, it's 3 p.m. So I think it's about the warmest part of the day right now in Celsius. It's almost 34 Celsius. So what is that in Fahrenheit? About 95, I think, something like that. So that is for me quite warm. So if you see some sweat dripping, that's because I have been in this garden now the last 1.5 hours to walk around, and it's a little hilly. So and then with these temperatures, that's for me quite hot, to be honest. So for me, from that country next to the North Sea, we maybe have that 33 or more. We have that 5 to 10 days a year only. So and I know that over here that's quite normal. So and welcome also the other side of the world. Hi Evelyn. Whoa, in the middle of the night. And I see, Sarah, that you even start to talk some Dutch with hoi. Hoi, Stefan. That's a typical Dutch way of saying hello or hi. Hi, Sandy. And welcome, Marcia, also. And hi, Sharon. All good to see you over here. Live streaming from another location. No Amsterdam, no the Netherlands, no flower gardens, no. But yes, Arboretum and Botanical Gardens today in Dallas, the US. So, oh, and it's also good that some of you have it in the evening. I know. It's a different time zone also for me. Normally, I'm doing the tours a little later, so later in the day for myself. So the US can also join, but now it's for me the afternoon. So and it's also good to see all of you too. So it has been a little while. I know that. So I'm doing a lot less virtual tours, of course, than the time when it was COVID, but I still love to do it now and then. So, and if I'm on special locations like today, then I love to take you around. So, hi, Carol, also welcome. So it's good to see. So I think it's almost time for us to start. So I was just sitting here next to the waterfall, hoping that it would cool me down a little bit, but it's not. It's not a lot. It's still feeling tropical over here, to be honest. So just gonna change the screen. And let me see where to do that. Whoa, they changed the app in all kind of flip. There is this. Hi, Tricia. And hi, Stephanie. Also, welcome. Okay, where are we today? We are in Dallas, the US, in Texas, the north part, a little more the northern part of Texas, where it is quite a warm day. And I'm here in a botanical garden, Arboretum Botanical Gardens in Dallas. So in a garden that's about 66 acres. So it's quite big, and it's one of the bigger botanical gardens. And I've been walking around here the last, let's say, um, let's say 1.5 hours to walk around. And I thought like, okay, then I'm getting a little bit feeling for the garden, but it's huge. It's quite huge. So uh, it's I was really thinking like, okay, I can prepare myself very well, but it's so huge that I just want to show you some of the highlights. And of course, it is not the high season of blooming, but it's still quite beautiful over here. There's still quite a nice number of plants that are blooming. It's also almost the season of the pumpkin, and in 2 weeks from now, sorry, I'm not here anymore. Um, I'm not here anymore in 2 weeks from now. But then the pumpkin festival is starting. So they're building that up right now. So we will see already here and there that they place like these huge pumpkins. Um, but let's start walking around over here. And look, I really like these modern waterfalls that they placed over here with a nice effect. I would almost say that I want to go under it. And yeah, Stephanie, I think you are, yeah, of course, you're living not so far away from here. So it is a beautiful place to visit for sure. Yeah. And I'm now in one side of the park, and in the coming hour, we will walk bit by bit to the other side of the park. We will see some wildlife, like the wildlife over here. Look at this. We have some koi's. They're coming quite nearby. Maybe later on I can try to see. Oh, there's one. Okay, maybe later try to see if I can come a little more nearby. And what a nice thing is in this garden is that there are also several statues. So you see at the other side, um, some people sitting over there next to a statue of a man that is fishing. He's fishing for the koi's, for the carps, but he cannot. Of course, he will not fish one. He's looking a little like, okay, I have been here for a very long time already. And also here at the side, there's another little waterfall. So, and I'm also going to show you, I have a little map with me. So this is a map of the gardens over here. And we are now here at to be precise, to be at the right side of the gardens. And I will try to walk all the way to the other side to give you at least a feeling of where we are. And that said already, it is 66 acres. So it is quite a big botanical garden. And it's the good thing is that they made a lot of places where you can walk under the trees. So it is at least it is a little cooler if you are in the shadows. And yeah, of course, this is it's also, I mean, I've been taking you to a lot of gardens, mainly in the Netherlands and in Belgium. And it's, of course, a completely different climate than the climate over here. So that also means that a lot of the plants and a lot of the things that we will see over here that I don't know exactly the name. So I'm not so familiar with plants and trees that we can see over here. But still, I think it is nice to walk around to get a little bit feeling of these gardens. Um, and of course, to see some wildlife, to see some plants, some trees, and several of them are still blooming. I'm just going to show you a little more of the two different statues that are here at the other side. And also look at all the fish around us. And here you can see, let me zoom in a little, let's see if that works. Zoom in a little on that man. He's fishing, 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 fishing for hours, and they will not bite. At the same time, there's a kid next to him being on the other. Oh, that was not the. Wait a moment. Yeah, we're back again. So yeah, the app that I'm using is has changed a little bit. So some of the buttons are on other locations than I was used to before. So that's my maybe sometimes it shifts back and forth. So and I'm really happy to be here. To give you a little idea why, Stefan, why are you in Texas? I've never been here before, but why are you here? That's because, as you maybe know, I have a travel agency, a tour company, and there is later this week or starting tomorrow, there is a conference over here, or starting this evening. There's a conference of one of the travel agencies where a lot of travel agents are working for, and I'm over here to present the Netherlands, to present all the tours that what we're doing. So I thought it's worth it to travel to the other side of the world and for for one moment also to see Dallas. And yeah, it's always interesting to go back to the US. I've now been several times, as you also maybe know, because that's almost every time for these travel conferences. So I've been before in Florida and in New York, and of course in Michigan, and now Texas is the fourth or the fifth state I think where I'm going to. And it's every time different to be in the US if I'm comparing it to my Amsterdam or to my Netherlands. And Texas is, of course, uh, yeah, a little bigger in everything, I think. So I was used already to big things. But if you're coming here in Texas, then the other big things that I've been seeing, like the Big Apple, then things are over here are even bigger. So, and it's always, I was writing on my Facebook. It's always a little of a culture shock to for me to go to the US to see all the things in sizes, and then I have to get used always like 1 or 2 days. I mean, I love it to see all these differences, and that's for me one of the reasons why I love to travel. So, and yes, yesterday arrived in Dallas, and I have a hotel in downtown. So I've seen already the Big Eye. I've seen all kind of other things already in downtown Dallas. So all the high buildings and the smaller buildings around. So, but to be honest, I love to go to places like where we are right now. And these botanical gardens, to be honest, as that happens a lot, they were used to be an estate of a very rich American family, a family that became rich because they were in the oil trade, petroleum trade, and with their money, they bought several acres next to, as you can see in front of me, this beautiful lake. Beautiful lake with a view, even. I think if we go a little further, yeah, we can see a little bit of the skyline of Dallas. And later on, we will see a little more of it because this is more the outskirts. So, um, and no, Sandy, most probably I don't have time to see a lot more because the next days will be in the conference center. But just to give you an idea, so imagine that you're living over here in this house here on the side. This is, by the way, not from that rich family. It's from another uh, from another family, and it's nowadays the head office of the botanical gardens. So it's quite a nice head office, of course. Oh, wow! And imagine that you have this view over the lake. At the other side of the lake, I'm seeing some other huge, or at least one other really big, well, almost a palace, I think. And also the nice thing, oh, I see already, it's a little too far now to go there. I saw several squirrels going around. Also, typical something that I'm seeing every time when I'm in the US, everywhere squirrels. From north to south or east to west, everywhere there's squirrels. So as you can see, the estate is also a little hilly. So that gives quite nice views over the water, and also means that we have to go up and down a little bit. Yeah, it's a nice office view, isn't it? Now, also this area over here is so calming. You can also imagine that people are coming here just to relax. So it is hot, but under the trees, and if you're not moving too much, then it is quite nice to be here. And as you can maybe imagine, this is also a location where a lot of marriages and all kind of other parties are organized. So, and all over the terrain, they have these little pavilions, and these little pavilions that can be used, for example, for a marriage. So, look at this. There's also a beautiful view if you are marrying or having your marriage over here with, again, the botanical gardens. It's going a little to the side. And what they did, by the way, this estate is, and we will later also see the house of the Goyer family. That's the family um, that bought this estate over here. They were building a house, and then after They died. They sold it to the city of Dallas. It's now in the hands of the city, and it's now this beautiful botanical gardens. Wow! And then these little rivers are going through. Woo! I see some animals that I also some like a big insect that I also haven't seen before. Wow! It's like an enormous bee, like a bee that is 10 times bigger than the bees I'm used to. I'm not gonna. It's going after me. It's like sorry. Also, the insects, they're a little unfamiliar. Oh, but it's really nice how they made all these. No, to be honest, I said already I arrived. Yet I arrived yesterday in Dallas. I landed, and then the first welcome was that half of my luggage is not there. So that sucks, to be honest. So I've been the last day in contact with Air France because I was flying with Air France um, from Paris, so Amsterdam to Paris, and then from Paris to Dallas directly. And they still don't have my luggage. So maybe today it will be delivered. Well, yeah, that was the first thing. And then of course I had a little jet lag. Look, by the way, there's a squirrel in front of us. I don't know if you can see it. Wait, am I zooming in now the good way? Yeah, it's over there. Squirrel over there. Isn't it? I love these little animals. And you can imagine in a garden like this, there's so much for them to find. Now, the good thing is that it's half of my luggage that was that's gone, but that's not there. The other half is there, so I have about 70% of my clothes at least. But all the stuff for the conference is not there yet. So all my more formal clothes are not there yet, and also several other things. So hopefully later today or tomorrow they will deliver it. So that was it was number one, and then number two I went to my hotel. I have a hotel in, of course, in downtown because I thought at least I wanna feel a little from where I have to go to, and then later I will move to the conference center, but that's outside of Dallas, so that's I think a little less interesting to go to. So I uh, I went to my hotel, and then there was a one of the culture shock. So outside it is 95, and then you're coming into a hotel room, and there was like a huge air conditioning. I mean, I'm also not used to air conditioning, but that air conditioning they place it on 65 Fahrenheit. That's about in Celsius, about 17 Celsius. So you're coming outside from 30. So I was freezing inside my hotel room. So I was really thinking, like, why so cold? Why so cold, guys? That's not necessary. Uh, but yeah, so I turned it off to get the temperature a little higher, and then placed it on about the 70, 71. That's a little better temperature for me, at least, than 65. So I don't know. I don't understand why 65. Because by the way, there's another animal over here. Look at this. What we see, and I can tell you, this is not. It looks almost like a statue, but it is not. And thank you for the calculation of Celsius to Fahrenheit. It's always hard. So I now know some of the in between, like 70 and 50 and 60. We get used to it. So wow. Yeah, it looked like a statue, but it was not. That's the wildlife over here that you can find after the squirrel. So you've seen already some wildlife, and at the meantime, also look at the trees or the flowers in the trees, the beautiful purple flowers blooming over here. It's a little against the sun, but I think you can see it here on the side. Wow, this is so calming, so relaxed to be here. And then everywhere they have like these little places, like what you see over there, where you can sit in the shadow, just look around, and let's go a little over the grass. I don't see any signs that I'm not allowed to go over the grass. That's also, by the way, also not something that you find in Europe. In Europe, if there's grass, you can always walk over it. You never have signs, don't walk in the grass. There's another squirrel, by the way. See him here on the right side. Oh. And this is, by the way, also one of these things, these little flags everywhere. The first time I was in the US, I thought like, oh, there are golf courses everywhere. And then I found out that it's not for golf course. It's just to show where, like some, for example, water is coming or some pipes are under there. So it's all these things, all these things. That's what I said already. I love it uh, to be somewhere else and to see different things than what I'm used to in Europe. So, and we're coming here, as you can maybe see already, in the rose garden. Look how beautiful the roses are over here. They have about 200 variations, and the rose is one of the flowers that I know a little bit more. So, because that's also what we have in the Netherlands and Belgium, blooming around the same time. Ah, thank you, Melissa. Good to know. I also saw several colors of flags, so maybe the colors are meaning something else. So, but the first time I really thought like, oh, it's a golf course, because I've also seen millions and millions of golf courses. Wow. So, and it's also nice that they have all these elements in the garden from what you can find in gardens, for example, France or Italy. And then also, I just want you to look the other way because this was one of the main gardens that was around their estate. So in the middle, there's the sunken garden. And this is, if you look at some of the plants, it looks again a little bit like we are in Versailles. Everything is symmetrical on both sides. Is that the Texas rose? I don't know that. But there are quite some more over there on the borders. I'm just going to, yeah. So then one of the other things is like, I understand it if it's always 90 plus degrees over here. But then the second thing is I unpacked in my hotel and I thought like, okay, it is around 4 p.m. yesterday. Let's go see downtown a little. So I was walking around. Not a lot of people on the streets, by the way. And then the people you see on the streets, I was really surprised again about the number of homeless people that you see everywhere. So in comparison, there's another squirrel now passing us. I hope that brings luck with a lot of nuts in his mouth. Yeah, so a lot of homeless people there were. And one of the things that I was missing is also a place outside, like a terrace to sit outside or something like that. So, but finally I found one. I thought I'm thirsty. I ordered a Coke. Well, I didn't get a Coke. I got ice blocks with a little Coke. So that's something I always also have to get used to. So lots of ice with Coke, but of course also with refill options. So in the end, I could drink a lot more. Oh, there's a lot of sound coming out of this. Look how beautiful these statues are over here. So these were some of the things that are so different from what I'm used to. And the last the last weeks. I was also shortly on holiday myself in France, southern France, and then again, you see so many differences per country. Wow, look how beautiful these flowers are. I'm just going to show you a little more. Yeah, there are roses in Texas, therefore the Texas rose. And thank you, Sandy. Light ice. Okay, then I'm getting it in the European way, with just like 3 blocks of ice instead of 25 or so. That would be nice. But as I said before, I mean, it's also just to get used to it. That the portions are bigger, the cups are bigger. The next time, and then every time, then I know it afterwards. And yeah, and over here we have the beautiful house in a Spanish colonial style that was built by the Coiler family. And when were they building this? This was in between 1938 and 1940. And of course, again, with a beautiful view. Look at the terrace over here with a beautiful view over the lake. So, wow. And then again, here on the sides, there are several pavilions. This one is with glass. The other one was open before. And then all around the house, there are these tiny courtyards with parts that are in the shade. So it's a beautiful, really beautiful place. I like, for example, over here and almost everywhere. I mean, it's now a very calm day, but almost everywhere you can sit, have a drink and some food, some more Coke if you want. So that will be for me. Oh, thank you, Sandy. 1/4 instead of 3/4. Okay. I will. I will know for the. I will remember for the next time. And then look at this. These lilies over here on the side. Just coming a little more nearby. It's making me so calm to have these beautiful flowers everywhere. And this is on the height of my head. So let's say 5 to 6 feet high. And then you're going down, and then you'll see there's a lot more in the border with little bees going around. There are even some marigolds here on the side. Wow. Then over here, you can see how it will start looking in the next month or so. We can see the first pumpkins in all kind of shapes and sizes. So they will place thousands of pumpkins all over the park next to the benches, and even they're building. I'll see that they were building it up, but I cannot really go there. But they're building up a whole little village made of pumpkins. So, but for that, I have to go back. I have to come back in 2 weeks from now. Wow, it's beautiful over here. And Sandy, yeah, that's one of the things. Give me advice about the food. I know that there's a lot um, of course, Mexican influence. So you also see that. I mean, a lot of people are speaking and English and Spanish at the same time. And I saw lots and lots and lots and lots of Mexican restaurants already. The only thing, as some of you know, I'm a vegetarian, so That means that not all the options are good for me. So no pollo, no chicken, no beef. But yeah, in the Mexican kitchen there are also some nice alternatives. So Pumpkin Town, exactly. So and also look at this over here. So we have the flowers in the middle, and then the trees on the side, and they're forming like a bridge or tunnel, a tunnel where we can walk through. And then at the end, there are some beautiful fountains. And this reminds me of like the some of the gardens that I've seen in France, for example. And also look at this. There's some water over here, and you're thinking like, what is this? I don't know how you call this in English, by the way, but these are the little frogs before they are becoming really frogs. And yeah, tacos is of course one of the things in pumpkin soup. Yeah, that's what I love to make myself too in this time of the year, because pumpkins are something that we also have in the Netherlands. Oh, look how beautiful this is. Going under the trees. Hey, look how beautiful this is. And it's neat because also the interesting thing, the temperature is immediately so much lower when you are under the trees. And that's one of the things, that normally I'm doing tours in Amsterdam. So the local government that we have in Amsterdam is now really trying to place more and more green inside the city to cool down the city on hot summer days. So, and you can immediately feel that it works. It really works over here in this tunnel. Okay, we are going. Look at this. It's really nicely done. I'm, I'm feeling a little like I'm in the theme park Efteling where I was before. So the four frogs are for the tadpoles. They are, oh yeah, tadpoles. That's the little fish. Thank you. And they all, the fountains are going to the middle where there's a big golden bowl. Wow. And thank you uh, for all the suggestions for pumpkins. I mean, I know that I can do a lot with it. And then here on the side, there's also an interesting part of the area. So they are calling it the tryout gardens. So what they're doing in this part of the botanical gardens is they're trying out every year several hundreds, up to about 2,000 different species, as different plants and trees, to see how they handle against the heat, against the temperature over here. So it is an experiment, or experimental gardens. Um, and not so for the experiment, but also for people, so they can see what will maybe work in their gardens. So, and this is one of the plants that they have right now over here. I think it's a hibiscus. Look how huge this flower is. And just to give you an idea, I will show you my hand next to it. So it's as big as my hand. Wow. And yes, thanks for all the uh, information that some of you are giving. That helps. Yeah, so you can walk around and you can so you can see, for example, if you think like, okay, I like to have a certain type of flower, then there are little signs with the names of them. Also, like the little ones over here. Look at these. Wow. Even some plants that you can hang on your porch, for example. Wow. And also things like types of grass that you can use for the borders of your garden, but also all kind of other things in almost every color you can think of. So, for example, over here, look at these little flowers. They're tiny, called snapdragons. Double shot hot pink snapdragons. Okay, that's an interesting name. Wow. And of course, there's not only flowers and trees, also a lot of herbs. There's another area where you can literally smell the herbs that they are planting over there. Okay, so yeah, so the trial gardens over here, and the whole year round they are trying out new ones, and every year new variations. Several hundreds at a time, and up to 5,000 a year that they're trying out. Oh, look, some more. Does some of you know the name of these flowers too? I don't know. Look how beautiful these are. At the same time, there are literally, I think I've seen about 100 people that are working over here in the gardens. So of course, to prepare it for the pumpkin festival, but also to take care of all the plants and trees. Also look at the ones over here. Wow. Just coming nearby so you can see the full colors with yellow with all the little orange dots on it. I think they're lilies, isn't it? Like a certain type of a lily. Of course, at the moment that I want to know a name, then there are no signs to show it, but there are a lot more. So just let me know, are these lilies or not? I think they are. And then here at the other side, even some tiny sunflowers. I mean, not the big ones, just tiny ones. Wow. And again, it's full of insects. So this is bee paradise. And Catherine, thank you for the information about what I'm doing on next to the live tours. Not so many anymore, but a lot of shorter ones now on TikTok, also on Instagram, by the way. Maybe you can also share the Instagram profiles. Freckles. Are they freckles? Okay. Oh, the little orange dots, isn't it? Freckles. Yeah. Thank you. That's also not something immediately in my vocabulary. Because of the sun. Yeah, exactly. Also look at this. Tiger lilies. Thank you, MD. Wow. Look at this. So just all these variations, and it's really very nicely done, I think, what they're doing in these gardens. So I'm just gonna walk a little to the other part. So we're going around the house. Oh wait, just one more view of the tunnel, but then without other people. So it's so calm over here. It's, by the way, if you wanna visit it, for normal price for adults is $21. So and yes, they are sunflowers, yeah, small ones. So that's true. Okay, you can see here the preparation for all the for the pumpkin festival. On all sides, they placed pumpkins already. Okay, and thank you again, Tiger Lilies, if that's the name. I believe you completely. I don't know the different variations. I thought it were lilies. Just normally, if you're visiting here, you can also visit the house of the family. Only today that one is closed. So also they're doing some restorations. So I have to come back another time to visit the house with all of you. Wow, we have some locals over here. That's cool. So some locals that can almost wave to me. Also look everywhere on the side at the borders. It's gonna give you again. These are all tiny, very tiny flowers. Love the combinations. Wow, of yellow and pink and purple. Okay, I'm just going to see here more of the border. When I came in the garden, there were several people were placing them just one by one to make these borders. And I said before, I have to come back. Have to come back later if I want to see the festival, but that will be maybe another year. And then over here we have the entrance to the Goyer house. Although it's saying it's open for tours, not today. But imagine that this is your entrance to your house in a typical Spanish colonial style. A style that you see more often, by the way, or what I've seen already more often in this area. It's beautiful that it's now open to the public, because otherwise we couldn't have seen this. Only if you knew the family, of course. And they have, by the way, several festivals every year. So it's not only the pumpkin festival. So I was even reading that in spring, so I have to come back 2 more times, in spring, that they have a spring festival with lots and lots of tulips. So, and they were even saying like after Holland, Michigan, they have the biggest amount of tulips growing over here. So I have to come back in February or March, something like that. Oh, a squirrel again. They're everywhere. And imagine that you're living over here in this house and this is your view. This is your view over the gardens. And on the right side, you also have the water, of course. It's really beautiful. I see squirrels again everywhere and little birds too. There's a beautiful red bird. It's just gone at the moment that I want to show you. Okay, let's go over here. He's going to the other end of the gardens over this golf course. Now I mean, I've been now also with you in quite a lot of botanical gardens in a lot of places, even also in Michigan. But this one is already designed, I think. So you see a lot of the English and the French landscape styles, mainly the English. So what we see over here with all these pathways that are never going straight, that's how you can easily find it. And with, yeah, everything is curated. Um, and the French style was the part where we were before, where everything is symmetrical, like the gardens of Versailles. Oh, look at this. There's also, at the same time, I said already before, there's a lot of art over here. And they're building here on the right side the whole pumpkin village. So I cannot really go in there, but they also have some art, some Mexican inspired art of all kind of animals, like the one over here, for example, like the ones over here, and welcome people that are just joining. And it is a combination of different animals, and they place them on top of all these pumpkins. So it's really nice combination. And then just to give you an idea, I'm just going to take a little around the corner. Over here, they're building up the village. So we see several huts that were made of pumpkins, with walls of pumpkins. So it's just they didn't finish yet. Wow. Okay, let's walk a little further. Say goodbye to this fantasy animal. Wow. And it's, by the way, from an artist couple that are called Jacobo and Maria Angeles. So a Mexican artist couple. Okay. And in the meantime, I'm walking again under all the flowers in the trees. Wow. Yeah, this is not only a bee heaven, but also a squirrel heaven. I saw several squirrels already in next to the pumpkins. So, but I think they have more than enough over here. Wow, it's really beautiful here. Just also over here, there are more blooming trees here on the side in white, pink, purple. Oh yeah, and over here we have some more of what they're building up. We see a combination of a dragon and a monkey, something like that. So there are 12 of these big statues placed in the garden. Do not enter. So there's also to make our time longer. So all these pathways are just meandering, going to the left, going to the right. So it feels natural, although highly curated. Oh wow, what is this plant? I cannot see the name of it. Oh, the waterwise plant. The waterwise plant. Look at this. With all these very purple parts. Wow. And thank you. Yeah, so if you like this tour and if you want to support me, of course, you can buy me a coffee. Iced tea, I'm not the biggest fan of, to be honest, but an iced coffee can maybe also work, or just a Coke with ice. No, ice with Coke, I mean. Oh, look how beautiful this is. And of course, it is now the start of September. And if you come back here in 2 to 3 weeks, not only the pumpkins will be there, but also, of course, the leaves will starting to change colors. So there's a beautiful foliage also in this area. Okay, some more purple flowers. Look at these. Again, I'm stopping for a moment just under a tree to stand a little in the shade. And let's see if we can go here to the right side. Yeah, beautiful berries, beautiful flowers, beautiful trees, beautiful leaves, everything. Okay, going to the next location. The sun is quite strong. By the way, there's also an open air theater in this area. So they have in summertime outdoor concerts. Yeah, Trisha, I had the same feeling. I mean, this of course always the thing that even in the Netherlands it's the same that we always think like, okay, all the flowers are blooming in springtime, but at the same time there's so many flowers that are and look at the beautiful fountain in the meantime. But there's so many flowers that are also blooming later in the season or in summertime or even in autumn. Think about roses uh, that are blooming throughout summertime. And in the Netherlands, of course, the dahlia is another famous example. Oh, it's good to know. Four seasons in one day. That's also sounds familiar. Although this hot season, we don't have so much in the country where I'm coming from. Wow, look at this. And imagine if you have a marriage that you can take so many beautiful pictures everywhere. Also because it's so calm over here. Okay, I'm going up with this winding road with U-turns everywhere. It's like going through the mountains. Wow. I'm really surprised how calm it is over here. So of course it is just a normal working day for a lot of people. So I assume that in the weekend it will be a lot busier. But it's really worth it if you're living in this area, not too far away. And I'm now walking around with you for about an hour. And I'm trying to keep on walking the whole time. So, but if you take your time and if you really want to see everything, then I think it will take you about 3 hours in total to see the whole 66 acres. Wow, look at this with the sun between the trees. It's really nice. And this is we're now at the other side of the gardens. And from here, we can start seeing uh, Dallas downtown, like the higher buildings just in front of us. So over here, you can see the skyscrapers of the city center of Dallas. So beautiful view that you have from here. It's about 10 miles away, so 15 kilometers. So not so far away. And here on the side again, beautiful marigolds. more blooming parts. And then also everywhere they place these nice areas where you can sit down. There's even a vent. So this is where I should go, I think. There's a fan to calm you down or to make you a little cooler, and then you can enjoy the beautiful views. Some sunflowers again. Wow. Ah, and over here I'm smelling basil. They're growing basil over here. Look at this. And then I imagine, I don't know why they don't have it at this moment, but I imagine that over these bridges there should also grow some plants, but maybe that's at another time of the year. Wow. Yeah, that's one of the things that I've seen. The lake, there's a beautiful bike lane around. So I should come again. I said already, I should come 2 more times at least to, and then maybe one of these times with my bicycle so I can cycle around the lake because it looks really amazing. And I also promise if I'm coming back that I will be reading up more about the history because that was now just such a last minute tour and also with my lost luggage and everything. So I didn't have that much time to prepare this tour, but I just wanted to take you around and have the feeling of these gardens. Wow. I hope it gives you a good feeling of how beautiful it is over here. And then, oh, there's another. Look at these little flowers over here. I love them. It's like a pom pom shape. Very beautiful purple. They're not very big. Wow. Oh, the hotel was another story. I told you already about when I came in that the air conditioning was on 65 Fahrenheit. That was a little too cold. And it's, let's say it is really an 80s hotel. It feels like coming back in the 80s. So not completely my style, but I mean, I don't have a very high budget. So, oh, I see a Tabasco. I see some, not only uh, herbs, but also some vegetables that are growing over here. Look, pepper, the Tabasco pepper plant with a lot of these little peppers that are sticking out. Of course, the Mexican kitchen has a lot of these. Now you know where they're coming from. Oh, look at this. They also have some eggplants over here on the side. So I don't know if they're using them in their restaurants. Maybe not. Some of them are eaten. They're eaten by insects, but wow. Always nice to see something different than just the flowers. Okay, let me go here. I'm just gonna end the tour over here. There's a very nice terrace here on the side. So I think this is a good place for me to end this tour just under the plants, under the green plants over here, sitting in the shade. Okay, so just gonna show you my face again. I'm still there, a little more heated as you can as you can maybe imagine and see, and even there's some sweat over there. But okay, that's all part of the deal over here. I have my clothes, at least, hopefully some more of my luggage too. So I really hope you enjoyed these botanical gardens in Dallas with me. At this moment, I don't know what the next tour will be, but if there are other gardens on my traveling or wherever, then of course I also always like to take you with me. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, feel free to uh, buy a coffee because that's how I can keep on doing these things. And as I've been promising before, I will keep on doing virtual tours, although not as much as it was in the past, because it's all next to other busy things that I'm doing right now. So, and thank God, COVID is over. So I want to really thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It's a little hot, so I have to cool down now a little bit, and I hope to see you again. Thank you. Bye bye from Dallas, Texas.